and this has this definite negative effect or negative tone that dominates James' words, and he talks about the power of the tongue and its danger. So we'll look at 5 again. You know, he said, even though the tongue is small, it boasts great things. Then he says, see how great a forest is set aflame by a small fire. Now this is an explanation of the danger of the tongue. It has this fearful potency of destruction. He says, see, or behold, in some translations, how great a forest is set aflame by such a small fire. And the contrast, it really is staggering. A forest, and you could take one little burning cigarette. I'm thinking of where my son is living right now in California. And set thousands, tens of thousands of acres ablaze. Fire is a fascinating thing. You could take one little tiny flame and set a whole city burning to the ground. And I have a cousin, her name is Cheryl Diamond Frank, and I'm just getting to know her after all these years on my dad's side of the family. And she was on Facebook, and she said, we have to leave our house right now. You can hear the progression. And the fire is on my street right now. I don't even know if my house is there. Oh, man. I felt so bad for her. And it's amazing. If you have a cup of water and pour it out, it doesn't become a flood, right? It can't. But if you have a match, you can light a forest or burn down a whole city because the way the fire is multiplying and multiplying and multiplying. And the tongue is not like water. It's like fire. It sets a whole forest ablaze. Oh my God. Make them like the whirling dust, like chaff before the wind, like fire that burns the forest, and like a flame that sets the mountains on fire. So pursue them with your tempest and terrify them with your storm. I was thinking about that. I grew up in Chicago. And in Chicago on October 8th, 1871, it was 8:30 p.m., I remember it well. And a spark started in Miss O'Leary's barn. You ever hear of Miss O'Leary's barn? Oh, this is huge. And it's just history. And it burned 17,500 buildings. 300 people were burnt to death. 125,000 people were homeless. And in 1871, they estimated the damage at, this is in 1871, $400 million by one spark. And I was reading that in a pan of rice boiled over a charcoal-fired stove in a small home in Korea, there was, before that, there was a charcoal fire, and it had done this great damage. 3,000 buildings were totally burned to the ground, in 1 square mile, area. And now, that illustrates the power of the fire. A fire. You understand it? Now it says in James chapter 5, I'll get it on here. James, 3:5. Yeah. Behold, wow, in other words. Wow, behold, exclamation. How great a fire a little flame can kindle. And then in verse 6, it says, that the tongue is a fire, the very world of iniquity. The tongue is set among the members as that which defiles the entire body and sets the fire on the course of our lives, and is set on fire by hell.